Hello guys, I'm Marvin Paz from Production Pastor. Discuss the understanding multilingualism, and the objective of our lesson is define some terms related to multilingualism, differentiate one form of multilingualism to others. What is multilingualism? The use of three and more languages, the ability to speak several languages. Forms of multilingualism. Individual multilingualism is deal with an individual ability to master and appropriately use two or more languages. Social multilingualism. Context, circumstances, order, manner, and routine of use of language in different kind of communities, organization, and group. Remember, a multilingual person is generally referred as polyglot. Poly means many, glot means language. What is bilingualism? The ability of an individual or the members of community to use two languages effectively. Thus know some terms: simultaneous bilingualism, compound bilingual, coordinate bilingual, subordinate bilingual, destructive bilingualism, receptive bilingualism. Simultaneous bilingualism. Children who are exposed to more than one language prior to age 3, they develop two or more languages equally or nearly equally through exposure and frequent opportunity to use its language. Compound bilingual, additive bilingual. The individual learns the language in the same environment and context, and they are often used concurrently or even interchangeable. For example, a child is raised by bilingual parents and both languages are used in the home. In the individual minds, the languages are not separate and can be switched between at will, even while speaking. Coordinate bilingual or subtractive bilingual. Individual learns the language separate in separate environment and maintain this separation after mastering both. For example, a student who speaks one language at home acquired via his parents in the home environment and then learn a second language at the school. He only speaks the second language at school in a classroom environment, and the languages remain separate in his mind. Next is subordinate bilingual. Those people who have learned a second language and cannot understand it with the help of their first language. Such people will translate the word of second language in their mother tongue, then they will be able to understand them. Destructive bilingual. An individual who has some deficiencies in both languages when compared with monolingual in each of those languages. This deficiency typically include a smaller vocabulary, incorrect grammar, lack of creativity and spontaneity in both languages, and difficulty with thinking and expressing emotion in their language. Next is receptive bilingual. A child has learned to understand a language but is unable or unwilling to speak it. Multilingualism within communities. Denglosia. Bilingualism. Bilingualism. Next is Dinglosia, the coexistence of two varieties of the same language throughout a speech community. For example, in the Middle East, the high variety Classical Arabic when the low variety is local Arabic, dialects such as Iraqi and Moroccan. Bilingualism, both clear state dominant language and protected minority language that is limited in terms of distribution of speakers. Bilingualism, if more than language can be heard in a small area, but large majority speakers are monolingual who have little contact with speakers from ethnic groups. Let us know more some terms. Early bilingual, late bilingual, balanced bilingual, dominant bilingual, and semilingual. Early bilingual. Someone who has acquired two languages early in childhood. Receive systematic training of a second language before age 6. Next is late bilingual. Become a bilingual after age 12. Next is balanced bilingual. Someone whose mastery of two languages is roughly equivalent. Next is dominant bilingual. Someone with greater proficiency in one of his or her language and uses in significant more than the other language. Next is semilingual bilinguals. Someone with insufficient language of either language. Thank you for your listening.